Conversion therapy, also known as ex-gay therapy or reparative therapy, is the controversial practice of trying to change a person's sexual orientation or gender identity. Currently, 18 states, Washington, D.C., and a number of local governments have prohibited licensed mental health providers from providing this service to minors. New York City passed one of the country's most expansive conversion therapy bills in 2017 and enacted it in April 2018. Unlike the other existing bans, New York City's bans the practice on consenting adults in addition to minors. Now, New York City's ban is back in the news because the City Council is trying to repeal it. The move comes amid fears that if a lawsuit filed earlier this year by conservative legal group Alliance Defending Freedom reaches the Supreme Court, it could have consequences reaching far beyond New York City. The lawsuit, filed on behalf of a Brooklyn-based therapist, claims New York City's ban is unconstitutional, saying it, among other things, violates the First Amendment's protection of free speech. We spoke to Dale Carpenter. He's a constitutional law professor at Southern Methodist University. He walked us through some of the concerns with New York City's conversion therapy ban. Have we seen the Supreme Court differentiate between adults and children in a free speech case that may be similar to this one?
The classic case of this is tobacco advertising. The court has said that the state can place some restrictions on advertising that is directed at children, but could not place similar restrictions on advertising that is directed at adults. And that's under the theory that the state wants to prevent harm to adults, but it can't prevent that kind of harm to adults. It's for adults to decide for themselves what kind of information they're going to get. In the case that the Alliance Defending Freedom has brought forth in federal court on behalf of plaintiff David Schwartz, David Schwartz is an Orthodox Jewish therapist who says that he treats fellow Orthodox Jewish clients. Does the fact that the case mentions religion make any difference? Well, in some cases, the court has suggested that the combination of the religious freedom aspect, the free exercise aspect under the First Amendment, and combine that with the free speech element, do augment the constitutional right that can be claimed by this therapist. It's not clear to me, however, that by itself that kind of claim would be successful. I think it's more the free speech claim that would probably be successful. Roger Brooks of the Alliance Defending Freedom commended New York City's efforts to repeal its ban. We spoke to the Trevor Project's Samuel Brenton earlier. Hi, Sam.
Hello, Brooke. How you doing?
Brenton underwent conversion therapy as a minor and has been a longtime proponent of laws banning the practice. New York City is trying to repeal a conversion therapy ban that was just in effect starting last year. Can you talk about why New York City may be trying to repeal it?
It's an interesting part where, in actuality, the actions being taken by New York City are actually going to save even more lives. The city is being intelligent and saying, we're going to, instead of spending resources on a frivolous lawsuit, we're going to spend those resources saving young LGBTQ lives as many times as we can. Corey Johnson, the Speaker of the New York City Council, called it a painful decision. It seems like you're saying that you agree with this decision to repeal it, that it's something that had to be done to preserve the existing state bans on youth in particular? The courts are not necessarily in a space where they will be as supportive of LGBTQ rights as they were in the past. And so it is better to make the prudent decision to remove litigation opportunities and rely on laws that have gone before the Supreme Court now twice and been upheld. These laws are moving at monumental pace. So this decision happens at a time that is unprecedented in the amount of work being done on the work to end conversion therapy. You and your organization, the Trevor Project, are specifically focused on conversion therapy bans for youth. Can you describe why you're specifically focused on the practice on minors? we've got to protect those who are the most vulnerable. And so that's why the Trevor Project does this work with minors. Now, to be very clear, we recognize that we serve youth over a wide range, right? We get calls from, those in kindergarten, and we get calls from 25-year-olds. These are a range of individuals, not all of which are covered by these pieces of legislation. But it is really important that these laws have been educating so many parents to the harms of conversion therapy that we know less youth are going through conversion therapy. 10,000 LGBTQ youth will no longer be able to access conversion therapy because of these laws. Now, I know that if those laws were expanded to adults, that might be an even bigger number. But I'm sure you understand, Brooke, that 10,000 young LGBTQ lives not having to go through the horrifying torture that I did is a astounding success that we have to build on as fast as possible.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.